Anyway mga kabarya, sa video natin ito, i-discuss natin ang ating PSE stock balita update para sa ating stock na si Jollibee Foods Corporation, si Converge, ang ating Manila Water Corporation, at pati na rin ang update ng ating Philippine Stock Exchange Index. Ngayon ay October 10, 2021. Saka dito pala guys sa ating Kabarya Avenue PH YouTube channel, sinishare natin yung ating experience at dinodocument yung ating pag-aaral sa mga nakita nating pangmasang Pinoy investment at potential digital assets in investment na pwede tayong kumita kagaya ng stock market, Pag-ibig MP2 Savings and Investment Program, GCash investment, cryptocurrencies and altcoins gaya ng Bitcoin, Cardano, Dogecoin, Binance, Litecoin, Chainlink and Ethereum, at iba pang pangmasang Pinoy investment. Kaya guys, kung trip at korsonada mo ng ganitong mga content, pwede mo ring pindutin yung red subscribe button dyan sa baba para ma-update ka pa ng ating mga latest na ina-upload na video tungkol sa ating pag-aaral ng mga pangmasang Pinoy investment at potential digital assets in investment naman. Alright, bago natin umpisahan guys, huwag nyo palang kalimutang basahin yung disclaimer na nasa screen ng ating video. Okay, talakayin natin ang ating mga nakalap na PSE Stock Balita Update ngayong October 10, 2021. At unahin natin ang ating stock na si JFC from Philstar Global na itala ito October 7, 2021. Jollibee submits tender offer for $250 million of its Singapore-listed preferred shares. Malaki itong in-acquire ng ating Singapore-listed preferred shares kasi nag-acquire siya ng almost $250 million. Ang conversion nito kung sa peso is nasa 9.25 billion pesos. Okay, alamin natin ang nilalaman ng stock balitang ito. Jollibee said that it caused Jollibee Worldwide, a wholly owned subsidiary of JFC, to submit a tender offer to purchase up to $250 million worth of the $600 million outstanding senior perpetual securities that it listed on Singapore Exchange last year to help pay for its $350 million purchase of coffee bean and tea leaf. JFC, the Jollibee Worldwide, will use the proceed of its recent preferred share sale to fund the tender offer. Yung inacquire ni Jollibee na percentage partnership sa ating coffee bean and tea leaf, last year ito guys no, nagkakahalaga ng almost $350 million at babayaran niya ito na gamit yung mga inoffer nilang preferred shares offering last month sa ating PSE Stock Market Philippines. At basahin natin itong last part. JFC recently sold 12 billion pesos worth of preferred shares, the first tranche of its 20 billion pesos shelf-registered preferred offering. At ito, naging successful nga yung offering nila ng preferred shares last month. That was September months, no? Dahil nagkaroon sila ng almost 12 billion pesos na nakalap na pondo dito sa kanilang pag-offer ng preferred shares sa ating PSE Stock Market Philippines. At itong 12 billion pesos worth of preferred shares na nakalap nila sa kanilang offering ng preferred shares last month, ito yung pambabayad nila ng partnership dito kay Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf na almost $350 million. At ito ay nagkakalaga ng 13 billion pesos, kaya almost kaya na nilang bayaran yung pinorchase nilang partnership o percentage joint venture kay Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. Kaya maganda ito para sa magiging future growth ng ating stock na si JFC. At follow up pa nating stock balita para kay JFC nang galing kay ABS-CBN, dated ito ng October 7, 2021. Jollibee to open 3 new stores in Europe before year ends. Magkakaroon pa sila ng 3 stores dito na bubuksan sa bansang Europe. At very strong fundamentals naman itong pinapakita ng ating stock na si JFC sa kanyang improvement at development ng mga stores. Basahin natin ito. Manila Jollibee Foods Corporation said its restaurant in Europe are back to their pre-pandemic levels in terms of dine-in customers thanks to rapid vaccine rollout. Jollibee is also expecting to open 3 new stores in Europe before the end of the year. The restaurant operator currently already has 10 stores in 3 European countries, with 2 in Italy, 1 in Spain, and 7 in United Kingdom. At maganda ito dahil unti-unti nang nakokontrol ng bansang Europe yung kanilang COVID situations. Dahil nagsimula na yung dine-in customers ng mga restaurant doon at kasama ang ating stock na si JFC sa pagbubukas at sa development ulit ng kanyang mga stores. At ang isa pang good thing, napasok na ni JFC itong bansang Europe ng kanyang mga stores at meron na itong current operation na 10 stores dito sa European countries at ang target pa niya magkakaroon pa ng 3 more stores na ibubuksan dito sa bansang Europe by the end of this year. Kaya kung trip at kursonada ninyo ng pang long term investment na stock dito sa ating PSE Stock Market Philippines at kung trip ninyo ng blue chip stock, pwede ninyong i-consider itong ating stock na si Jollibee Foods Corporation o ang ating JFC kasi marami na tayong na-discuss na mga future project ventures nito at very strong fundamentals yung mga na-check nating mga magiging project pa nito sa future. Okay? At silipin muna natin yung naging market trading record ni JFC sa ating PSE Stock Market Philippines. Right now, si Jollibee ay nasa 205 pesos ang kanyang naging price action. At ang present na market capitalization ni JFC ay nasa 227.46 billion pesos. I-check natin yung record niya sa ating mga foreign investors. Makikita natin na ang present na record ni JFC magmula noong September 30, nagkakaroon na siya ng mga net foreign buying dito. Noong September 30, meron siyang 36.91 million na net foreign buying. Itong ating October 1, meron siyang 26.51 million. Itong October 4, nagkaroon siya ng negative 7.88 million na net foreign selling naman ito guys, no? October 5, meron siyang 6.96 million na net foreign buying. Itong October 6, meron siyang negative 8.18 million na net foreign selling. Itong October 7, meron siyang 219.54 million na net foreign buying. At last Friday, itong October 8, meron siyang 73.84 million na net foreign buying. Kung i-compare natin itong record ni JFC sa ating mga foreign investors, mas malaki yung net foreign buying natin. Ibig sabihin, nagiging attractive na yung price action ni JFC sa mga foreign investors dahil nagkakaroon nga ito ng very strong fundamental sa development at sa nagiging lumalabas na mga future project ventures nito. At dito mo makikita yung unti-unting pagkakaroon ng development, yung pagkontrol ng ating COVID situation dahil nagiging attractive yung price action ni JFC dahil gumugulong na yung ekonomiya at bumabalik na yung mga dine-in sa restaurant natin. At ang inaantay nating isa, yung magbukas na yung pagluwag ng ating mga quarantine guidelines. Itong si JFC, isa itong blue chips stock kaya ikino-consider natin to at recommended ito para sa mga long-term investors natin na kayang paupuin yung kanilang mga investment ng long-term dito sa ating stock na ito. Okay? Okay, i-play natin itong isang related na video kay Jollibee Foods Corporation nanggaling sa ating ABS-CBN News. At ito yung interview ni Mr. Adam Parkinson na head ng ating JFC sa bansang Europe. Okay, i-play muna natin ito saglit. Panoorin natin guys. 1, 2, 3.
Jollibee, the Philippines' largest fast food chain operator, founded by tycoon Tony Tan Caktiong some 40 years ago, is setting its sights on Europe as part of its overseas expansion bid. Here's our exclusive chat with Jollibee's Europe business head, Adam Parkinson. Hi, Adam. Thank you so much for joining us all the way from England.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's start with, how are you thinking about the recovery in dining, particularly in Europe, where Jollibee, I know, is so bullish to expand? I imagine it's like, it may feel like living in two different worlds when you look at the locations of where Jollibee is.
Yeah, look, I think the pandemic has been tough on us, like tough on everybody else. But what we've found is, since we've started to roll out the vaccine program, it's enabled us really to acquire sites in locations that previously we probably couldn't acquire them. So it's enabled us to speed up our pipeline. And since the vaccine program has been rolled out in Europe, we've started to see, since April, everybody's starting to return back to the city centres. And like human beings, we want to be around other human beings. So the dining business has gone from 0% at the beginning of the year, now back up to 60-70% of our business. So people are returning, which is giving us a lot of confidence for the future.
60-70%, back to 60-70% of the business. That makes it viable already for the business?
Correct. That's really back to where we were pre-COVID in terms of our sales contribution. So, of course, we're always going to have takeout and delivery, but dining is the preferred option for our customers.
Mm-hmm. I was going to mention that you're probably seeing a lot of pent-up demand from the public to go back to restaurants, because as much as we love cooking at home, we're tired of doing the dishes. And we also crave the social experience, the smell and the sound. What's the mood like in your Jollibee stores in Europe? How many do you have, by the way, in Europe right now?
We currently have
right?
10. Yeah, we currently have 10 spread across 3 countries. So we have 2 in Italy. We've just opened in Spain, in Madrid, which is very exciting. And then the remaining 7 are in the UK. We have 3 more to open by the end of the year, so that will take us to 13. Our end goal really, though, is to become a household name across all countries in Europe. And the atmosphere in our restaurants is just that of fun. From the Filipinos and also from the locals. 70% of our customers today are mainstream locals in the UK. So we took a conscious effort to open in mainstream locations, those areas in which maybe there's a small number of Filipinos, but it's been a pleasant surprise to us to see from day one, from opening, locals in the queue waiting to try some of our great products.
Well, and the best sellers are the same?
Still the same, except for we have the chicken burger, which is excelling in Europe, a preferred option for the locals in terms of handheld chicken. But Chicken Joy is still up there as number 1, of course.
Of course, who can resist the Chicken Joy? But let's talk about the digital shift. Are you also embarking on digital transformation for online ordering or delivery? How aggressively are you doing so, if yes?
Yes, we are. We've implemented, I guess, the usual actions of kiosks in the restaurants to ensure it makes it easier for our customers to place orders. We're in the process of about to launch our app in November, the Jollibee app for Europe, which is exciting, gives the customer an opportunity to pre-order before they come to the restaurants to avoid too much queuing inside and outside of the restaurant. So we're working with our delivery aggregators also to create, I guess we have 2 things to do. One is do normal business with our delivery aggregators, but also to use them to help drive brand awareness in Europe for those people who maybe don't know who Jollibee are. So partnering up with our delivery aggregators, as well as introduction of technologies like the digital app, is key for us for the future.
Speaking of delivery aggregators, Cloud Kitchen is the vogue these days. Is Jollibee into Cloud Kitchens?
Yes, they are. We have a few now scattered across the world, in the Middle East and in Singapore. In Europe, during the height of the pandemic in 2020, we did open a Cloud Kitchen for a few months just to, I guess, cover the bills while we couldn't have dining business. Our focus though right now in Europe is still opening the bricks and mortar on the high streets and drive-thrus, just so we again can push that brand awareness, because I think there's a difference between seeing Jollibee as a brand online and seeing the atmosphere inside of our restaurants, which I think is second to none in terms of that overall experience that is needed to really enjoy Jollibee at its fullest.
I'm very curious, Adam, have you been to Manila and experienced the Philippine Jollibee experience?
Yes, I have. I've been to the Philippines a few times now. And every time I go, it still surprises me, still puts a smile on my face to see how many people love the Jollibee brand, and it's fantastic. And the overseas Filipinos also turning out to, as I said, we'll be at 13 stores by the end of the year, but every time we open a store, they're out in full to support us, which is fantastic.
Yeah, but what's great is what you mentioned earlier, that 70% of your customers are mainstream locals. They're not Filipinos.
Correct, yeah. So that was important to us in terms of the size of the prize in Europe and how big Europe can become. Without putting necessarily a number on it, we believe the sky is the limit. As long as the local target audience for us, which is Gen Zs and young millennials, those demographics of people that influence the whole world, whether it's politically or whether it be what restaurant to go and eat at. We believe that we can connect well with those people and keep it 70, 80, 100% of our business in those locations that we need it. Then there's no reason why we can't continue to open aggressively across all countries in Europe. So that's the end goal ultimately. And like I said, for the first year, getting 70% from opening in the front doors is a great achievement, and it just shows the strength of the Jollibee brand as a whole.
In Europe, of course, Jollibee is on a 7 billion peso business transformation program. Does that include plans to make international markets like Europe account for a bigger portion of top and bottom line? I know that there is a target to do 50-50 contribution, local and global, as in 4 to 5 years. Do you think that is doable? Very easy to beat? What do you think?
I would never say it's very easy to achieve. But 50-50 is still the plan. I think that we've clearly dominated the market there in the Philippines, and the growth opportunity lies outside of the Philippines in international waters. So just looking at North America and looking at Europe, two big regions that for sure can help acquire the goal of 50-50. So I don't see it being a problem as long as we can continue to connect with the mainstream audience, which, as we said before, it's happening, right?
How does Europe compare or stack up against the North America market versus the ASEAN market?
Very similar. I think that the target audience and the mainstream customers are very similar in terms of what they're looking at and what they're looking for, which is an enjoyable experience within the restaurants and good quality food. So there's no necessarily secret recipe in our secret recipe, right? It's just making sure that we please those guests as they come in. In terms of leading the way, Europe, I guess, from a percentage of locals and mainstreams, seems to be leading the way in the UK specifically, and I think that's because the UK as a market is very strong from a chicken perspective. We have competitors that have over 1,000 stores just in that one little island of the UK. So I think we're fishing where the fishes are in order to do good business. So I think the UK, you'll start to see UK and Europe leading the way with regards to that mainstream acquisition.
Okay. And
Sunod nating stock balita para sa ating stock na si Converge from Inquirer.net at naitala ito ng October 9, 2021. PSE declines further as Converge continues to bleed. Bumagsak yung price action ng ating stock na si Converge. Basahin natin. The stock barometer further pulled away from the 7,000 barrier on Friday as investors continued to price in surprise changes to the main index alongside an extended sell-off on shares of index newbie Converge. Bumagsak yung price action ni Converge. Mamaya sisilipin natin yung naging chart ni Converge sa ating PSE stock trading day. Pero ituloy muna natin itong pagbabasa para alamin natin yung naging dahilan kung bakit bumagsak yung price action ng ating stock na si Converge. Shares of Converge slide with another 10.4% as of 365-day lockup period on shares of global private equity firm Warburg Pincus Limited, which owns 15.8% of the fiber internet company, expired on Friday. This means that the Warburg is free to sell all or part of its stake in the future, creating an overhang on its stocks. On Friday, the main shares Philippine Stock Exchange Index PSEI fell by 44.44 points or 0.64% to close at 6,906.86. Ito pala yung naging dahilan kung bakit bumagsak yung price action ni Converge, kasi yung isang partner investors niya na firm na ang tawag ay si Warburg Pincus ay nagkaroon na ng sell out sa kanyang investment dito sa ating stock na si Converge dahil natapos niya yung lock-up period ng kanyang investment dito within 365 days. Kaya nung binitawan niya yung kanyang naging investment dito sa ating stock na si Converge, bumagsak yung price action nito at yun yung dapat nating alamin, yung ating entry point sa isang stock, kung saan ba tayo papasok, saan tayo lalabas para hindi tayo maabutan ng pag-sell out ng ating mga malalaking investor naman dito sa ating PSE stock market Philippines, kasi very risky ito. Kung papasukin mo pa siya dun sa tuktok at magti-take profit na yung ating mga malalaking investor dito, dapat yun yung nababantayan natin para hindi naman tayo maipit. Kung sakaling mabili natin siya sa taas, dapat mabitawan natin siya, o dun papasok kung nagkamali man tayo ng entry, dapat meron tayong cut-off area kung ilang percentage yung ating drop bago tayo magkaroon ng cut-off naman dito sa ating mga bibilhing mga stock dito sa ating PSE Stock Market Philippines. Kaya dapat mapag-aralan natin at alam nating gamitin yung mga basic technical analysis at i-consider din natin yung mga fundamentals at mga stock news and catalyst ng isang stock bago natin ito pasukin, at dapat magkaroon muna tayo ng proper planning kung saan yung entry natin, kung saan yung exit, yung cut loss area at yung take profit level natin bago natin pasukin yung isang stock. Kasi ang sabi nga ng ating mga expert, itong ating mga passive investment is nagkakaroon ito ng high risk reward ratio. Dapat alamin natin yung risk reward ratio niya sa ating sarili, at ang mga perang dapat ilagay natin dito is only put the money that you can afford to lose. Yun yung laging nagiging pangaral sa atin ng ating mga expert naman dito. Okay? At silipin natin yung naging market trading record ni Converge. Ang current na price action ni Converge nasa 33.60 at last Friday down ito ng negative 10.40%. Ang kanyang naging present na market capitalization nasa 252.88 billion pesos at meron siyang net foreign selling. I-check natin yung naging history niya sa ating mga foreign investors. Right now makikita ninyo itong naging trading history ni Converge sa ating mga foreign investors. Almost napakalalaki ng naging red day nito, kasi last Friday mayroon itong 515.99 million na net foreign selling. Noong Thursday, October 7, mayroong negative 624.97 million na net foreign selling. At mas marami nga yung naging net foreign selling nito sa kanyang red day naman. Kaya bumagsak yung price action ni Converge. Okay, puntahan natin yung kanyang trading chart. Okay, sa day chart tayo ni Converge, i-analyze natin itong naging kanyang mga trading chart and candles. Makikita ninyo nagkaroon siya ng malalaking drop ng mga trading candles nito. At yung latest na naging price action ni ASEN, yung kanyang naging all-time high dito, itong ating 45 peso area, itong area na ito, bago siya nagkaroon ng drop sa kanyang price action. At i-check natin yung drop naman nito kung ilang percent, no? From the top hanggang dito sa 33 peso area, meron siyang almost negative 25.80% na drop naman dito. Kaya yung mga kasamahan nating naipit dito sa taas, malamang medyo malaki yung naging baksak nito kung hindi sila nagkaroon ng cut loss level dito. At yung hinold pa ito nung pangalawang araw, medyo malaki na yung drop ng kanyang price action, kasi umabot ng from the top is negative 25.80% naman ito. I-check natin yung kanyang MACD, itong MACD naman ni ASEN. Kung papansinin natin, hindi na maganda, no, yung naging MACD lines nito, kasi bumagsak na itong ating blue line, no? Itong ating blue line nag-cross na dito sa ating red line. pabaksak pa ito guys, no? Kaya mahirap siyang saluin dahil very risky kung sasalo kayo dito sa part na ito dahil nag-cross itong ating blue line dito sa red line sa kanyang MACD. I-check natin yung ating Fibonacci retracement. Kung i-check natin dito sa baba, plot natin sa highest point, almost nagko-coincide, no, dito sa ating blue line itong ating moving average, no. Kung ipa-plot natin yung ating moving average line, itong blue line na nanggaling sa baba, ito yung moving average 50. Almost nagko-coincide sila dito sa ating Fibonacci retracement, no. Yung level na kasunod almost magkatapat sila guys, no. I-plot natin. Yan. Pwede pa itong mag-drop dito sa area ng 31 peso area. Kaya i-check ninyo kung sasaluin ninyo, i-check ninyo yung risk reward ratio ninyo guys, no. Kasi pwede pang bumaksak dito sa level ng 31 peso area. Okay? Yan ang ating chart kay Converge. At kasunod nating stock balita para sa ating stock na si Manila Water. Ito ay from Business World na itala ito ng October 8, 2021. Manila Water bags new deal in Saudi Arabia. Basahin natin itong magandang stock balita ni Manila Water kasi nagkaroon ito ng panibagong project venture sa ating overseas naman. Yung nakuhaan niya ng panibagong project ventures nito. The Consortium of Manila Water Corporation Incorporated, French Water Distributor, Saur Group, and the Saudi Arabian Miahuna Corporation sealed another 7-year water contract in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Manila Water said in a stock exchange disclosure on Friday that Saudi Arabia's state-operated water agency, National Water Corporation, awarded the management, operations, and maintenance contract to the consortium for the water and environmental treatment services in the eastern cluster of Saudi Arabia. Maganda itong naging awarded project ni Manila Water kasi meron itong 7-year water contract in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. At ang gagawin niya dito, management and operation of maintenance contract to the consortium for the water and environmental treatment service in the eastern cluster of Saudi Arabia. At dito naman, yung naging specialty ni Manila Water yung i-provide yung services ng mga water system natin. Okay? At ito naman yung area na na-award kay Manila Water na bibigyan niya ng water services sa bansang Saudi Arabia. The cluster covers the cities of Dammam, Al-Hofu, Al-Jubail, Al-Kubar, Al-Qatif, and Hapar Al-Bati. It has the population of 5.27 million and a supply demand of about 1,800 million liters of water daily. JB Emmanuel A. De Dios, Manila Water President and Chief Executive Officer, said winning the Northwest and S cluster place in water firm and its partner in a strong competitive position once the same contracts are converted into long-term concessions. Maganda itong naging project awarded kay Manila Water natin kasi nasa bansa ito ng Saudi Arabia. Kaya good thing ito para sa magiging future growth ng ating stock na si MWC. Okay? At ang ating huling stock balitang nakalap para sa ating Philippine Stock Exchange Index. From ABS-CBN News pa rin ito, naitala ito ng October 9, 2021. PSE Index extends losses in second straight day. Bumaksak yung price action ng ating index ng dalawang sunod na araw. The PSE Index extends its losses to a second straight day and defies a mostly straight traded session in Asia. Michelle Ong reports October 8. I-play natin itong related na video ng ating ABS-CBN News para sa stock update balita ng ating Philippine Stock Exchange Index. Okay? Panoorin natin. 1, 2, 3.
Chinese markets returning from the Golden Week holiday, helping give Asian peers a lift, with data showing services activity turning positive. Philippine shares, though, started strong but finished down both for the day and the week on profit-taking. This amid declining COVID case counts, while on the political space, the last day for the filing of certificates of candidacy for the 2022 presidential elections. Political scientist Herman Kraft observes Filipinos seem to view politics still in the traditional way despite the pandemic.
The chatter, we're still talking about personalities to a large extent, right? We're still talking about Sara Duterte, we're still talking about Leni Robredo, we're not talking about who is it that's saying that he's going to be doing this in order to be able to address the issue of the pandemic. What matters now for an investor is to be able to identify who it is, that will be able to bring the Philippine economy back to the kinds of performance that we've come to expect pre-pandemic.
Meanwhile, PNB Securities Manny Lisbona says, minus the daily swings, the environment still seems supportive for risk assets.
Just looking at the interest rate environment, we're still very low on the curve. So that is very stimulative for markets, and I think we've been seeing it for most markets, not just the Philippines. The US, you can see that the interest rates are very low as well. In fact, we are mostly negative in terms of real rates. We are looking at ending the year at least above 7,000. My personal target is actually a bit near already. It's about 7.2, 7.3 for the year. It really depends on a lot of things. Hopefully, the downtrend in COVID cases does sustain itself.
For the day, the PSE index shed 0.6% to close at 69.06 as locals sold down. Foreign funds net bought the market by 1.5 billion. Among the day's most actively traded stocks, Wilcon, which enters the 30-member index on Monday, and even First Gen, the stock it's replacing. Converge, which has been on the up in recent sessions, also gave off gains down 10% for the day. Michelle Long, ABS-CBN News.
Alright, at yan ang ating PSE Stock Balita Update ngayong October 10, 2021. Magkita ulit tayo sa kasunod nating video. Once again, have a great weekend Sunday. Always stay safe and God bless. Hanggang sa muli.